yesterday was history, tomorrow is mystery, today
Mystery.
is a gift.
Today
That's why
is
it's
a
called
gift.
present.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why sometimes we drag ourselves because of what happened in the past. That's already history. Parang we're worried too much about what's gonna happen in the future that we forget about
Yeah.
the now. What we're going to do is something that I've done this before. Just so happened na I stopped because of the post production issues. So I used to record my own podcast before. It's called The Lemonades of Life. It's still on Spotify and Apple if you wanna listen. Pero I just recorded a couple of
Sinerch ko
episodes.
yun. Ang ganda ng title, The Lemonades of Life.
Yeah. Hindi nga namin gawin.
The Lemonades of Life. Ang ganda,
Yeah.
ang ganda na. And yeah, it's something that you're also passionate about, not to do
Yeah.
this.
It just so happened that I had issues with post-productions. So, before one man thing lang talaga ako eh. Ako yung maghanap ng guest. Tapos ako yung director on the day. Well, I had help before from a good friend of mine, Sari. Ay, Sari Labrador. Ayun, tapos post-production, editing, sa akin yun.
Ikaw na
And,
yung gumagawa.
Yeah, and there were times na I was super tired na. So, pagpapaliban ko na yung editing ng podcast. And actually, I have, I think, 6 episodes that I was not able to edit and was not able to upload. So, for me, this is a dream come true again to be able to produce a podcast. And now with the co-host
Tsaka
and
this
with an
time,
awesome director
Oo
ninyo.
nga, hindi ka lang mag-isa ngayon. We are a team and we're actually the Ember Media team,
Yeah.
right?
So, a lot in store for Ember Media. So, we've attended a few conferences last year and a lot of people are asking, ano nga ba yung Ember Media?
Oo nga eh. Kailan nga ba tayo nag-start? Kasi when we did the Feast conference, people are asking, do you have your website? What is your Instagram? They want to follow us. Nakita nila yung Ember Media team. So basically, we are your go-to barkada for anything work, life, and meaning. We want everything that we do, we want to do it with a purpose and with a mission.
Yeah.
Diba?
Baga parang it's always purpose-driven. And at the same time, we do services as well, like photo, video, and then video editing. We're going to have a big project this year. We're going to be partnering up with different brands in the US.
Yes.
So as a content marketing agency naman siya.
Yeah.
So Ember Media is actually big as
There's a lot in store. Parang meron siyang iba't ibang what do you call that? Merong studio, di ba?
Yeah, there are different projects.
Different projects. Not just one, but the one also that we will be launching today.
Yeah.
It's actually from, Ember Media also.
Yeah, it's under the umbrella of Ember
under
Media.
the umbrella,
So,
that's right.
To answer the question, what is Ember Media? It's a media company. So our goal is to be able to produce content marketing, at the same time be the partner media for some events, conferences, just like Feast conference that we did last year and then this year. Tapos we're going to launch a few more brands under Ember Media umbrella. So in the works na yung the recording studio.
Recording studio.
Then
yes.
I'll share more about it in the next episodes.
Okay.
And then the launch of the podcast, and we hope to be able to produce podcast shows as well, not just for
Yes.
Ember Media team, but for like other content creators, or there are people in mind na
That's right.
who have reached out to us
Yeah.
asking if we can produce a podcast show from them. But today we're
Okay, for
going to
today,
launch
we're going to
something.
focus this
Yes.
for the podcast that we are gonna launch today. So, ano nga ba
You
yung
do the
title?
honor.
Ano ba yung name ng podcast natin? Sabay na lang tayo.
Sige. It's called Ignite the Spark.
So, Ignite the Spark. Because we can go back muna dun sa Ember. Kaya tayo Ember Media. It's like a small, fuel in a coal.
Yeah.
Bakit nga ba yun yung napili nating name for our media team?
Mhm.
You said earlier when we were talking, di ba, na it's just just a small spark or flame that can have a big impact.
That's
Or
right.
like when you're in a dark room and then there's even just a tiny dot of spark, it can make a difference.
Yeah, it symbolizes a lot of things. Could be hope for other people,
Mhm.
right? Could be how they started. It's like kickstart,
Yun,
So,
isa pa yun.
kickstarting something or-
yes.
parang doing something from the ground up.
Mhm.
And I remember us when we started this team actually, parang we did not know where we're going eh. Parang we were just going with the flow
Mm.
until such time na we did some travels, we did some projects, and we figured out na ito yung identity
Yeah,
natin.
parang naturally na lang siya lumabas na lahat tayo, di ba, nagkakasundo tayo na, this is what we want, this is what is in our hearts.
Yeah.
Kaya very meaningful siya for us. And because also we want to inspire through stories, real life stories, authentic experiences of people, right?
Yeah.
That,
No flop, right? Just real talk.
Ganda naman. No fluff, just real talk. And these people also, they can inspire others, yung mga viewers natin or listeners, like they can empathize with those people na i-feature natin in this
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Diba?
So we have pre-recorded episodes that we've done last Feast Conference
Mhm.
last November.
Mhm.
So
Ayan, balikan natin yung last year.
So
na
some of
ginawa
our
natin.
guests there were like a motivational speaker, a pilgrim leader na naglilid ng mga pilgrim tours, and then an author, and then an entrepreneur, and a freelance creative. So
Ang dami
dami
na.
natin
So-
nakausap, pero feel free to most of these guests, ikaw yung nakausap nila. So feel free
Actually.
to share the highlights of what
I'm excited
they're going to expect.
to like launch them yung mga ginawa natin na podcast last year with them. So this was in Feast Conference 2024 and with Brother Jan, diba?
Yeah.
We talked about career or how he has become now a motivational speaker and yung mga challenges then that he went through, and also like family life. He shared about his family life. Yeah, and ang dami. There are many aspects of life that we want to touch in this podcast, diba? That natin. We will publish for others to like be connected with
Yeah.
us, and we can reach to them. Kasi aside from these motivational speakers, you mentioned earlier that we want to invite guests who have different professions,
Yeah.
di ba? Para mas malaman din natin ano nga ba nangyayari in their everyday lives, like iba-iba, doctors, pilots, FA.
I wanted to invite the taxi or Grab
The Grab
driver.
driver, sobrang excited ako for this year. So, yung last year naman also, a very meaningful project also that we did was the Hong Kong trip. So,
Yeah.
ang galing-galing kasi besides na
So ayun, nagkasakit ako nun, you know. I had to
Besides na nakapagbakasyon tayo,
Go
di
back
ba? It was purposeful. But yeah, sobrang sad na when we got there to Hong Kong, one day ka ba? Or just that day lang?
overnight. So I just left in Hong Kong.
Overnight. So Ember Media team went to Hong Kong. We met with OFWs. We wanted to show their struggles. But before kami nakapag-shoot, nagkasakit
Yeah.
si Jomer. And he had to go back to the Philippines.
Pero
But
for me, one of the highlights nung Hong Kong tour was when you went to Disneyland and before going there, you met this group of
yes,
siblings.
yes. So we were just walking along TST, Shim Shatchue. And papunta pa lang yata kami ng Disneyland noon. Then may nagpipicture sa other side of the street na mga siguro 6 to 8 sila, senior na magkakapatid pala. So nakakatuwa kasi kaya namin sila nakita agad. They were wearing Disney
Mickey Mouse.
Minnie Mouse
Minnie Mouse,
actually,
yeah.
Minnie Mouse costumes. Nakakatuwa sila. And then when we talked to them, we learned that it was the first time that they were going to Disneyland. So at this age na nakapag-ipon na sila.
Yeah, they said something na yung mga bagay na hindi nila nagawa nung bata,
Ginagawa nila ngayon.
And that's part of it is going to Hong Kong Disneyland.
And that's what we also want to emphasize here, that it's never too late to start something, to do something. That you
It's
have
never too late to ignite the spark.
Yes, ang ganda nun. It's never too late to ignite the spark. There's no perfect time na, or, if you missed it when you were young, when you were younger, you can always do it as long as we have life, we
Yeah.
have hope. So, nakakatuwa sila and they were so happy para silang kids. Also, our experience, si Nino, our director, it was his first time too. Para rin kaming bata dun sa Disneyland. And it was so memorable.
Hindi daw siya nag-enjoy
So
sa Disneyland, doon siya sa store siya nag-enjoy.
Kasi bumili siya ng maraming shoes. But grabe yon. Besides that, we interviewed people sa Disneyland. Diba? We also met with an OFW who has been working in Hong Kong for like 17 years, si Ate
Grabe.
Car, na nakapagtapos na yung dalawa niyang anak, may isa na lang na malapit na magtapos. And then, yun lang yung goal niya. After that, yung last, yung bunso na makapagtapos na, she wanted to go back na to.
Yeah. And
Philippines.
I remember actually going to Hong Kong. Our main goal is really to promote remote work. We thought initially na that's the goal of Ember team, just to promote remote work. However, during the trip and then during the brainstorming period, we figured that there's so much more than just sharing the remote work.
It went deeper than that. Not just the opportunity of remote work, though we wanted to focus there. Kasi the question was, what if, like, 17 years ago, for example, si Ate Car na OFW, there was an opportunity for her to stay at home with her family, with her kids, and she wouldn't need to go to Hong Kong. With how her life would be different.
Yeah.
That's a thought that we really wanted to focus on. But aside from that, naging yung natin, yung mission natin, parang naging mas malawak siya. So not just remote work now, but we also want to show or highlight the importance of work-life harmony.
Yes.
Remember that, di ba? Work-life harmony na we just don't want you or us to be working for a living or spending your day just to make a living, but to make a life.
I remember I gave that quote when I was
remember
a
that
speaker.
always.
Don't get yourself too busy making a living that you forget to make a life. Ayan. So,
Matak sa akin yun.
and aside from that, the reason why it went much deeper, aside from just promoting remote work, you don't want to include other industries that they don't have any choice but to work on site, diba? So we also want to honor them, the sacrifice that they're making.
Yeah.
That's why we kind of pivoted and parang not really stop promoting remote work, pero it's still one of the highlights. Pero we want to tackle more than just remote work, and it's it's a simple yet complicated word called life.
Not just work, but it's a long journey of uh, life's challenges, yung mga struggles na pinagdadaanan ng lahat. And not all can do remote work din, like yung mga nurses natin, yung mga doctors, diba, they really have to go out there sa field, sa world,
And we want to
hospitals.
honor them, right?
Yes, of course, we want to honor everyone because we believe that each person has his or her own story that can inspire others.
Yeah.
No matter which industry they're coming from, what role are they doing. Minsan iniisip natin parang ang liit lang ng role na to. Parang 'di ba yung iba naririnig mo ba yung ano lang ako guard lang ako
Yeah.
or driver lang ako. But we don't want that. We want to value each profession kasi lahat may purpose yan and may reason kung bakit sila nandun, bakit tayo nandito. We are interconnected.
Yeah. And for, like, sabi mo, for guards, they may not know, but we truly appreciate it. For example, you live in a property where it's being guarded by security guards, diba? There's that peace of mind. And that's something that cannot be bought by money talaga. Diba? And that's something that they parang the value that they bring to other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So it's not perfect, not everyone are parang they provide it. Pero that's just a small percentage. Yung mga naging issue with the guards, di ba? And we're not here to comment on that. We don't know the two sides of the stories. Pero most of the time, when there's a guard in the establishment, there's that parang psychological effect na
Yeah,
there's a
secure.
peace of mind. There's
Yeah.
this, you're secure.
Mhm.
And that's priceless.
Totoo. And each profession or each person is really special. Kasi, like, we always see what's on the surface. Like, for example, we're doing this podcast, but behind this, there are a lot of people involved. And, it wouldn't be possible to have this without those people
Yeah.
na nagtulong-tulong. Like,
They may
si
not
Ikay is not here, but she
logistically,
ordered for
she's
food.
helping us. Yeah.
Totoo. And so, we want everyone, whatever your profession is, whatever you're doing in life, to feel that you're not alone in this journey
Yeah.
called life. Whatever, you want to do or is in your heart, we want to support you, that you can start something, you can ignite that
Yeah.
spark to just do it. Remember, may sinabi ka rin sa akin na you'll never be ready until you actually do it.
Oo.
Yeah.
Chanel, as we start the new year, 2025, ano yung highlight ng 2024?
2024, highlight for me talaga was yung Hong Kong trip talaga natin. Not because dahil tayo yon Ember Media, but because the first months of 2024 was so busy with work, and then may mga healthy mga bata nagkakasakit. Ang daming nangyayari. But then, come October, nung nag-Hong Kong tayo, it was just me without my husband and my kids. Just, di ba, us and Ember team. Grabe, para akong nasa ibang world. Ganun yung feeling ko.
And that's why one of the content that we made is healing our
healing our inner child. Yun, hindi rin ako nakapag-travel when I was a kid with my family. Life was a bit hard. But, when we went there, mga adults na tayo, kami pala, hindi ka kasama sa Disneyland. But, I really felt na, it was life-changing for me na I can do this now. And then, it was also a time to unwind. Break muna from being a mom, from being a worker. Kasi, di ba, with my full-time job.
Yeah, it was time to be Chanel.
Parang talaga.
Anong nickname mo nung bata?
Pangit ng nickname ko
Sige
nung
na.
bata.
Ano?
Tawag nila sa akin, Shawi.
Shawi, oh.
Like Sharon
It was your
Shawi.
time to be
Hindi ko alam
Shawi.
saan galing yun. Tapos ayoko na. Minsan tinatawag ako ng mga cousins sa Shawi. Wag na yun. Channel na lang. But yeah, I felt like a different person na being renewed and energized. Nakasama ko yung Ember Media team. I also made like bonded with Ikay and Nino. Grabe experience namin sa Hong Kong. After
Napabok ka tuloy ng Hong Kong this Feb.
kaya
With the
nga,
family.
babalik kami with family. Pero ito talagang February trip with the family. Ang tagal ko nang pinaplano kami. Kasi 2019 yung last trip namin
Yeah.
together. And talagang unti-unti na lang siyang pinag-ipunan na talagang, ito na finally. Kasi we wanted sana last year, but it wasn't the right time pa. And then nakapunta naman ako. But at least, di ba, sabi
Alam mo na yung, kumbaga,
alam na
i-expect
yung,
mo ulit. Ang daming changes eh.
oo nga
Sa Hong
eh.
Kong.
At
Yeah.
at least eto this time naman, sila na yung itutour ko. Ayan. So yeah, that was really the highlight of my 2024, our Hong Kong trip. Na,
Pinag-enjoy ka lang muna kasi talaga ni Lord.
Oo,
Ano.
enjoy lang muna.
Kasi busy ka niyan.
Tapos
sa Feb.
after kami mag-interview no ni Ikay and Nino, naalala ko, like, tumatakbo kami nung gabi na pasara na yung store. Gusto namin puntahan yung Sephora. Tumatakbo talaga kami. Tapos napunta kasi kami sa isang mall na mali pala. Yung K11, dalawa yung K11 malls. Doon kami sa other mall. Doon pala sa other side. So tumatakbo talaga kami. Tapos pasara na, naabutan pa namin. Nakabili
Nice.
pa kami. Ang sarap ng feeling. Para kami mga bata.
Si Nino, nakailang shoes ko nun, bro?
Ito sa shoes eh. Hindi na,
Tatlo.
naghihiwalay kami sa Mongkok sa shoes. Kasi siya, mag-isa lang siyang nag-aano.
Feeling ko kung nandun ako, baka nakailang shoes pa tayo na, bro.
For sure. Di ba sa shoes ngayon, time to let go na for you. Ikaw naman, what was the highlight of your 2024?
Madami eh. Pero as part of Ember Media team, siguro yung naging pinaka-highlight tong 2024 was parang to be part of the Feast Conference. And nandun si The Chosen,
Oh, yes.
si Jonathan Rumi.
Jonathan.
And in one of his talks, I remember him saying na he was asked na if you're going to meet Jesus face to face, what are the things that you're going to ask him or tell him, diba? Isa lang sinabi niya eh, parang did I ever get parang close to what I portrayed. And I remember his story, talagang living paycheck to paycheck. It resonated with me kasi I was living paycheck to paycheck talaga before. And yung parang laging pecha de peligro, ganon. And parang na lang magical na one day magugulat ka pag ganito yung nangyari. Parang ang nakaka-amaze yung ginawa ni Lord. And for me, up until now, I still want to pinch myself kasi
parang totoo
ba itong nangyayari
Hindi mo
sa akin?
naisip ba back then na one day makakaalis ka dun sa scenario na yon? Parang kasi di ba parang inaalis tayo ni Lord dun sa pit of darkness eh. Like, back then ba naisip mo na one day ganito yung mangyayari or hindi?
Hindi ko in-expect na ganito ka yung gravity nung
grabe yung blessing
yung blessing ni Lord. Pero one thing is for sure, parang God, the universe would not just give you something na parang in an instant. Should be something in the process. Kaya ako noon, I surrounded myself talaga with people na I look up to. And I know that's part of the process. I am still friends up until now with my friends during childhood. Ganyan. Pero it's very important that you surround yourself with people that you look up to. If you want to be successful,
Totoo.
diba? You surround yourself with this kind of
You
people.
kept your feet on the ground. Yung iba kasi di ba pag sinasabi ay nagbabago na or parang if you experience the pleasures of having the resources to buy things or like to travel, to do a lot of things na hindi mo nagagawa before. Sometimes the parang tendencies to become greedy na you want more. But kasi, with your experience, kung saan ka nanggaling dati na grabe rin yung mga challenges sa life, yung mga pinagdaanan mo. So parang the more na you want to bless others, di ba? So, yun na nakikita
And that's
din
why
namin
the
sa'yo. That's
Jonathan
why,
Rumi tour was
yeah,
very important kasi it reminded me of my humble beginnings.
humble beginnings
And
talaga.
I mean, Jonathan Rumi is now more than being portrayed. He's portraying Jesus. Sikat na siya na actor.
Yeah.
And for him to parang stand by for 3 hours to do pictorials with
Grabe
the
yun,
fans.
nung nagpa-picture tayo. 3 hours, nakangiti pa rin siya, na
I mean,
grabe.
hands off to the
Sobrang
person.
din niya, down to earth. And hindi rin magmadali yung pinagdaanan niya. I remember when we were at the FeastCon, ang tumatak sa akin na shinare niya was yung hindi siya nakakabayad ng rent. Remember that? Tapos, I think that time, nag-audition pa siya sa mga pwede niyang gawing theater din yung
Pati
theater
sa mga
din,
child
diba?
parties, di ba?
Yeah,
Isa.
yung mga events na ganyan. So talagang walang-wala na siya. And then, kinausap niya si Lord. Sabi niya, Lord, I surrender everything. Minsan kasi ganun yung wala na tayo, but we would realize that all we need is God.
Yeah.
Na siya na yung mag-fulfill niyan, huwag ka na mag-worry. Parang ganun. Yun yung na-experience ni Jonathan Rumi na pagbalik niya sa place niya, nakita niya dun sa mailbox, di ba, may mga envelopes. And then, naipon yung, may mga money, cash na pambayad na niya sa rent. Yun yung mga past na, pa niya, racket niya. And then, meron pang nagbigay, ganyan, na sobra pa dun sa kailangan niyang ibayad. Na grabe, parang din siya nun. Naiyak din talaga siya nun. And, after nun, tuloy-tuloy na. Yung The Chosen kasi na series na mapapanood natin sa Netflix. So, si Jonathan Rumi, di ba, is portraying Jesus. Nung nakuha na niya yung role na yon, his life really changed. And supposedly, the series was parang, the duration was about a few months lang or just one episode.
A few episodes.
A few episodes funded by
The fans.
the fans lang. And siya,
And it
parang
grew big.
campaign, lang, fund. And it grew. So now, season 7 yata
Yeah.
lahat.
And I watched a
Grabe.
couple of episodes. Parang, siyempre, when we watch Passion of the Christ, tapos, when you think of Jesus, kasi parang laging seryoso eh. Pero the funny side of
Character.
Jesus, right, was portrayed. So, yan, it was a humbling experience
Tapos
for us
na-meet
to
pa natin siya.
meet in person Jonathan
That time.
Rumi.
Yeah. Yun din pala, the FeastCon, was also
Highlight
very
din daw na,
inspiring.
sabi niya, highlight din daw ng life niya na pagpa-picture sa akin.
Ay! siya yung talagang, kaya pala nag-post siya, sabi niya, that finally I met Jomar. Dream come true. But also I had the opportunity to talk, diba, sa audience about building their personal brand. Tapos nakakatuwa na dun sa question and answer portion, ang daming mga tanong nila, and meron isang engineer siya na parang gusto rin niyang itry naman yung remote work, yung kasi work from home opportunity, kasi kahit engineers, merong maraming mga civil engineer, iba't ibang engineers na na-hire din, di ba, sa remote work. And yeah, ang saya nung gano'n na may mga nakikinig, natuto sila. Tapos nung the next day, nung bumalik ako sa Ember booth, and nag-ikot ako sa booth, naalala nila, siya yung nag-speak kahapon. So, naalala pala nila. Nakakatawa din yung gano'n na, ibig sabihin, tumatak din sila. Or,
Dami pala commercial.
Or,
Nagulat ako sa mga videos mo eh.
yung doon, yung pinakita. Yeah, growing up kasi yun. Tapos ngayon naman, iba naman. So from before na different roles sa commercials growing up, ngayon kasi hindi ko na siya mabigyan ng time. Parang hindi na rin yun yung priority ko. And itong ginagawa natin ngayon na podcast, ito na ngayon. Besides dun sa full-time work ko,
have you ever thought of doing
something
this?
new naman.
Like 2 years ago, have you ever thought of you becoming part of a podcast show?
Actually, I didn't expect that I would be a part of like a media team, but I started vlogging nung
Mm.
pandemic. Also while I was baking noon kasi syempre nasa bahay lang. And then, hindi ko lang tinuloy yung baking kasi like, ikaw nun, di ba, one man, ano ka lang team. Ako nun, hindi ko na rin ma-edit. And then, parang tinamad na rin ako na yung post-production yung medyo mahirap. And then back then, the kids were, toddlers pa. So, nag-stop lang ako. Nag-start na ako ng vlog nun eh. So, meron akong channel na rin with mga, I think, 100 subscribers, mga ganun pa lang. But, yeah, I stopped it. But it's something that I really want to do. This, talking to people, relating to people, and yeah, doing content. So, yeah, for this year, 2025, I'm excited for for our podcast. Ignite the Spark
Yeah.
naman, di ba?
So, as you've mentioned, we're going to invite different guests with different experiences.
Yeah, so watch out for our next episodes. Iba't iba talaga. From different walks of life, we will be having important guests.
Yeah. Real talk from real people.
Real talk,
No
yeah.
flops, just fire, right?
Ganda, parang ang ganda nun namin. Ganon, no flops.
No flops, just fire.
Ganon. Yun yung every episode sa dulo. No flops, just
Yeah. And
So-
supposedly, kasama natin isang co-host
yeah, we
today.
have a co-host, si Ina. She is an FA. Lumilipad lang siya ngayon.
Yes.
So, hopefully, sa next episode natin with,
Yeah, in the next
The
few
other
episodes
guests.
with other guests. She'll be
makasama
here.
na siya.
So, yun, expect din nila na hosting this would be a rotation for like between the three or from the three of us.
Mhm.
So, again, pwede natin pag-hostin si Ninyo, di ba?
Oo nga.
Ayun.
Kaso wala
But,
mga tao sa likod.
Yeah. Again, I'm glad, I'm honored to be part of this team. That we're able to we're going to do something. Hopefully, it's going to be meaningful.
Mhm.
And yeah, just can't wait to when you're sitting here kasi interviewing
Mhm.
these people, first hand mong naririnig yung kwento nila, real time mo na experience
hindi natin.
yung I mean, real time ka na-inspired dun sa experience nila.
Totoo. Para ka na rin na-immerse dun sa ginagawa nila.
Yeah.
Ito pala yun.
Dapat pag mag-take note tayo para
Oo nga eh.
ito pa rin mga
Nakakatuwa.
nagdaanan niya. So,
And this is also a blessing for me because ever since I love writing then. I would write novels, poems, and then here with Ember Media, di ba? Not just a host, but yeah, I do some of the write-ups or if you need anything sa content. So, I'm happy na na-apply ko pa rin yun. Because sometimes when we go back to our passion or what we really love doing, parang it makes us more us, di ba?
Mm.
Parang mas ako to eh. So, it's not just work, but fun too.
yeah. Sometimes kasi, yun nga, yung sinabi ko few years ago na sometimes we're too busy making a living that we forget about us. We forget to make a
Can make
life.
a life.
Yeah. So, that's very important lang. And looking forward to learning more of that through this show and with the
Yeah.
life story of our future guests.
Yeah. And we want to also focus on the present, di ba? Yung naalala ko yung nung nagsa-start pa lang, when we were brainstorming, we want to show also yung just live the life, enjoy the now. Di ba? Parang tomorrow kasi has no promises eh. And we are here now and we just want to save for everything that's happening around us. We appreciate the blessings that we have each day. Parang take it one step at a time.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yung sinabi dun sa sa cartoon show, yesterday was history, tomorrow is mystery, and today is present.
Nga. So, dito ka mag-focus today. And if, you want to start something or for years, there's something in your heart that you really want to do, but parang ang hirap i-start, just do it. Just kickstart
Yeah.
that spark. Just tuloy-tuloy.
Yeah. Sorry, going back. Gamali pala. Yesterday was history. Tomorrow is mystery. Today
Mystery.
is a gift.
Today
That's why
is
it's
a
called
gift.
present.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why sometimes we drag ourselves because of what happened in the past.
Hmm.
That's already history. Parang we're worried too much about what's gonna happen in the future that we forget about
Yeah.
the now.
Yeah, and sometimes no, parang we're hard on ourselves too. Let's say we made a mistake sa past. Minsan gano'n ako na naalala ko ulit tapos parang nagsisisi ka na, bakit yun? Bakit yun nangyari? Bakit mo ginawa? But really, sayang lang din if you do that. Kasi parang you're punishing yourself.
Yeah.
But you're already forgiven, di ba? Parang every day, God's mercy is available for us, forgiveness. So, don't rely on the past, on the mistakes of the past. Just learn from it and bring it to
Yeah.
the present and look ahead. That's why here, di ba, in our podcast, we are very excited for what lies ahead. We want to really, really touch the lives of our listeners, of our viewers, and just, go with us. Samahan niyo lang kami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you, Chanel. Thank you, everyone, and we're looking forward to doing more episodes
Yes.
with the rest of the team.
Yes, watch out for our next episodes, and yeah, we'll just be your barkada, and we'll also listen to you, just relate to one another, and yeah, that has been Ember Media for Ignite the
Yeah.
Spark.
Yeah.